It's Sunday. I've been watching a lot of my own video, and it's time for an update. Okay, so why am I watching a bunch of my own video? Because I've been recording all this year, all that I've been doing in the garden, and I've got things like this. This is a new piece here. But what I hadn't been doing when I put the labels is putting the date. And the question keeps coming up, oh, how long ago did I plant that? Because there's a few things that haven't sprouted yet that probably should have sprouted by now. And I've been trying to make the decision whether to just go ahead and replant. In those cases, most things have sprouted, and I'm very happy about that. But it's those questions that I needed to answer, and I needed to have those dates. So, like, this is brand new. This is iceplant, and it was planted on the 28th. On May 28th. And what this is about is that we've got a bunch of bare spots up on the hill that really need iceplant, and trying to propagate it from cutting has not been working very well for me. And so I just thought about it and I said, couldn't I just find seeds and plant them in flats like this and get them started? And if I can get them started, then I'll have a bunch of little plugs that I can stick in the hill somewhere. Just dig a spot and, you know, something 2 or 3 times larger than the plug that'll come out here, and be able to stick it in the hill, and hopefully it'll survive the transplant and go. So that's what that's about. That's why I've been doing all the tags. And if we come back here as the wind blows, yeah, so now I can figure out, like, up above, we'll just look at that real quick. The corn, that has been one of the biggest. The yellow dent corn that's in the back was, let's see, most of this stuff was planted on 5/10, I believe, or 5/9 actually. The beans were planted on 5/9. This one's not a great example because it's got seeds that I bought and planted after the initial planting. But most of it was planted on 5/9 and 5/10. And just stuff hasn't grown yet, and we're at 3 weeks. So that's why I needed to do that, to figure out where I was. I couldn't say that yesterday before I watched a bunch of video. Let's look at the lower planter real quick. The lettuce is getting bigger and bigger, looking nice. The radishes, you can kind of see the radish right through there. They're pushing themselves up, which actually, if you think about it, the planting area below is actually shallower in the back than it is in the front because of the slope of the hill. The carrots are doing nicely. The atomic red is now labeled, which it wasn't before. I've got labels for all of these. I've actually got dual labels because tomorrow when the family gets together, I'm going to be offering up some of my extra seeds. Is something that you can do when you have too much. So overplant, and then you're stuck in a situation where you gotta find people, you gotta find new homes for your little seedlings. That's a good feeling when you have too much. If you underplant, you might suffer not having, you know, kind of like I've got with the corn up above and some of the squash. So that's where I am with that. It's looking like the Swiss chard's doing okay. The chives are doing okay. You can see the cucumber doing nicely. Let's head to the back. Let's see what things look like over there. I'll just show you real quick the nasturtium here. Not too much to say on that end. The planters around it, I'm not sure if I planted anything or not. I still need to watch a little bit more video and figure out, when I did all this cleaning up, did I plant anything, or did I just simply put the planters back thinking I was going to plant? We'll figure that out. But that's a good reason to be documenting it all, is so that you can go back and figure things out later. But it would be better if I had a, like, plant diary to work with. Small detour. These are cacti, so I gotta be careful because this one's really thorny and really close. But cactus flowers looking really nice. Try and get you up above. And then over here, and I got more plants. And again, I can now say the black crim were planted on 5/10, which means it's been about 3 weeks. Yeah, I think tomorrow's actually 3 weeks. Today would, well, anyway, yeah. And the key is like, okay, how long? That's 3 weeks worth of development on 2 tomato plants. I planted 3. There was an issue with something that dug into my bed and made a mound of dirt there at one point. And actually that may explain why there's a nasturtium plant sitting there, where I planted 3 seeds and I only got 2 of them. But I got them. They're going. That's 3 weeks. This is February 12th. So this is about 3 weeks plus 3 months. So it's going to take potentially another 3 months to get my black creme to be this size. But here's the really good news. I've got yellow flowers on my Roma tomato plant, which means I may have some tomatoes before too long. The cherries here, I believe, are actually planted at the same time as the black creme. Now that I think of it, oh, wait a minute. Large red cherry, 510. I did look that up. So I do have an answer on that. The basil I didn't really worry too much about because I've got a lot of basil planted, so it grows when it grows. Cherry picked peppers, you know, now that I think of it, I don't have labels on those, so this is something else I still need to go back and watch. Poblanos were only planted on, is that the 14th or the 19th? Can't read my own. Oh, it's the 18th. Well, either way, it's only been like a week and a half. And you can see the giant Marconi. I need to get water on these plants badly. But let's see what else everything's looking like. I'll just run the sprinklers in a minute. That's not a big deal. I can run them for a couple of minutes and without running the full cycle. That's what all that's looking like. Mom's staying on top of watering hers. I gotta stay on top of watering mine. Head over this way. There's a little surprise in the side yard that got me all excited earlier this week. Not the geraniums, but they're still looking good, and I still got to get out and deadhead. Still a bunch more weeds to pull. I did pull a bunch this week. If you didn't see it on the side, check out the weekly videos, which I'm still processing. We'll get out soon, but here is the big surprise. This is my purple orchid tree with purple orchids on it. I've been growing this for 5 to 6 years. Again, we need to go back and look at videos and try and figure out 5 or 6 years ago when it was that I actually planted the seed. Now granted, back then I was living in an area where I couldn't get a good sunny area to plant the seeds, so they suffered in the shade for a while. But it is doing nice. That will become a larger trunk, more like that smaller trunk there. This should become a reasonably sized tree. It should grow up another few feet and get a few feet wider and be covered in these sort of white and purple flowers, and that will feel really good. And with that, not much more to tell you about, so I think we'll just wrap up for the week. Appreciate very much you watching the video and other videos. Please consider the like, share, and subscribe thing. That always helps any YouTuber. Yeah, thank you. And take care of your family. Take care of your friends. It's, as I record this, it's the day before Memorial Day. So keep the veterans in mind too. I mean, there are people out there that really did things so that we can have the freedom that we have. Consider them, find one, thank them sincerely. And with that, take care of yourself. This is the Budget Gardener signing off, saying may your thumb be green.